Week 6, NFL Power Rankings. Let's go. Let me start by saying that I don't know what's going on in the NFL this year. Shit is just weird. Teams that are supposed to be good are trash. Teams that are supposed to be trash are good. And then, of course, there's this.
Bitch, I'm stylish. Black top, big t-shirt, Billy. Watch on my wrist, but I want that dime.
All right. Let's get right into it. Number 32, Carolina Panthers. It's week 6, and we already have our first team eliminated from the playoffs. Okay, not literally, but you know what I mean. There's no way that this team is making the playoffs. This team is barely able to field a team right now. Between injuries, people fighting with coaches. I mean, truth be told, I expect nothing less. I mean, this is an organization that thought that it was a good idea to bring Sam Darnold in. The same organization that thought it was a good idea to bring Cam Newton back last year. And the same organization that thought it was a good idea to bring Baker Mayfield in this year. I heard a crazy rumor that they were talking to Nathaniel Peterson about coming to join their team. Okay, that's not true, but it would be funny and fitting. Christian McCaffrey is in all the trade rumors. Robbie Anderson, after fighting with his coach and being sent to the locker room mid-game, was just traded to Arizona. I absolutely love this team for comic relief. Number 31, Washington Commanders. It still sounds weird. It's just so weird. People need to start listening to me. For 5 years now, I have been referring to Carson Wentz as trash. 5 years later, people are finally starting to see it, including his own head coach. I absolutely love Ron Rivera for what he said, and actually gained a lot of respect for him for fucking telling the truth. All these interviews are supposed to be so scripted and PC and tell the truth. And this man did. We suck because our quarterback sucks. We all know it. Spitting facts, Mr. Rivera. Good for you. But despite it all, Washington actually came out of Thursday Night Football, Prime Video, with a win over the Bears. Okay. And apparently, Carson Wentz was injured in that game. And a report came out yesterday that he's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. It's so weird how coincidence like this happen, right? Head coach says that his quarterback sucks, and suddenly that quarterback has an injury and he's out 4 to 6 weeks. Number 30, the Bears. Look, it's Halloween season, right? There's Halloween decorations everywhere. It could be a spooky time of year. It could be a little scary. Much like the red zone. The red zone is a very scary place for the Bears. 2 drives into the red zone early in this game against Washington. That's right, Washington. Both of those drives ended terribly. One with a pick and the other with a turnover on down. And both of those turnovers were directly resulted by bad decisions by Mr. Justin Fields. But he's not all the blame for this, right? His offensive line needs to start playing some football. Fields got hit 12 times while standing in the pocket in this game. It's kind of difficult for a young quarterback to learn when his offensive line is not blocking for him. Number 29, Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals' offense on Sunday were able to muster 9 points against that very stout, all-world defense of the Seattle Seahawks. Are you picking up on the sarcasm? Well, here's something that has no sarcasm at all. The Cardinals are a joke. First offensive possession of this game, they kicked a field goal. 3 points. Well done. Then their next 7 drives were just fantastic. Fantastic. Failed 4th down. Punt. Another failed 4th down. Then they lost the fumble. And then, you guessed it, another failed 4th down. And the best part of it all, Kyler Murray looked like trash. I swear this dude is Carson Wentz 2.0. All this unjustified hype surrounding this man since he's been in the league. I really wish he would have went and played second base for the Oakland A's. And I'm starting to wonder if Cliff Kingsbury actually feels the same. Speaking of him, what happened to him? Wasn't he all the rage when he first came into the league? I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the chopping block. I don't know if he's going to finish out. If the Cardinals keep on playing like this, he might not be the head coach of that team for much longer. Number 28, Denver Broncos. 6 weeks into the season, 4th primetime game for the Broncos. The NFL just knows. They just know what us fans want. If this is the pulse, the NFL has their 2 fingers shoved up their own ass looking for that pulse. So this game started off very promising for the Broncos. Bro, Russell Wilson completed his first 10 passes. Whoa. And that included a 39-yard touchdown to some dude who caught the ball for the first time ever. But after that, the Broncos offense went right back to where it's been all season. Taking a nap on the couch, just like I was watching this game. You know what this game showed me? The Denver Broncos have the worst offense in football. Fight me. They don't even have signs saying that they're going to come out of it. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way because Troy Aikman actually said it during the game. His exact words were, they have too many good players to be this consistently bad. And he followed it up by saying, at least I think they do. Maybe they don't. Number 27, Detroit Lions. Number 27, Detroit Lions. The Lions were on a bye week this past week. Their record still sits at 1-4. I had them at 29 last week. They moved up 2 spots. Not that they did anything, but some teams slid underneath them because they just suck. Number 26, Cleveland Browns. All right, the game plan for the Browns against the Patriots on Sunday was really confusing. You have the league-leading rusher in Nick Chubb, and instead they chose to put the game on the shoulders of quarterback Jacoby Brissett. Gunslinging Brissett. And you know what Brissett did? 3 turnovers. This game was confusing. This team is confusing. And quite honestly, I don't even know what to say about them. Let's just move on. Number 25, Houston Texans. Houston on a bye week. Their record remains 1-3-1. I had them at 27 last week. They're now at 25. Some shitty teams slid underneath them. And here we go. Number 24, New Orleans Saints. Who's the starting quarterback for the Saints? You know, Jameis Winston, he was back at practice this week. And he was active on Sunday. But he didn't get the start. So that leads me to believe that Andy Dalton is now the new starting quarterback for the Saints. It's weird. It's not like one is better than the other. They're both garbage. They're both currently 1-2 in their game. But I suppose you have to look at it in a way. Winston, when he played, he had Michael Thomas. He had Chris Olave. Andy Dalton didn't have those players. I don't know. I have no clue. But they have a Thursday night game this week. And I know I won't be watching it. But I'm curious to see who starts that game. Number 23, Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders on a bye week. Their record remains 1-4. I had them at 16 last week. I'm not entirely sure how I dropped them to 23. But I'm sticking with it because this team isn't good. Number 22, Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, the bad news, which is always going to trump the good news, is that they lost the game. And ultimately, that's why you play to win the game. However, there were plenty of positives to take from this game. For example, after having 7 turnovers in the last 2 games, Trevor Lawrence had 0 this week against the Colts. That's good news. In addition to that, the Jaguars had 3 running backs running wild on the Colts defense. They racked up 243 rushing yards. How they lost this game is crazy. But they did. But you can't dismiss the positives to take from this game. Jaguars are now sitting on a 3-game losing streak and just spiraling down my rankings and down the NFL standings where they belong. Number 21, Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, when they took the job away from Mitch Trubisky and gave it to Kenny Pickett, I was curious if Trubisky was upset. I mean, he had to know going into the season that this was going to happen eventually, right? But I'll tell you, after Kenny Pickett got hurt in this game against the Bucs, Trubisky entered the game and played like a man on a mission. He played that game like he needed a wheelbarrow to carry around his balls. He played mistake-free football. He was accurate and effective. And when it mattered most, he kept Tom Brady off the field. At the very end of this game, Trubisky took off running, iced the game by picking up a first down with his legs. Well done, sir. 1 week after the Steelers getting embarrassed by the Bills, Mike Tomlin shows the world that he still has it, and they upset the Bucs for their second win of the season. Number 20, Seattle Seahawks. Listen, I want to whisper something to you. Come here. The Seattle Seahawks are in first place in the NFC West. That's a fact. What in the name of Sean Alexander is going on? Kenneth Walker. You heard of him? He's the running back in the draft that I wish the Bills would have traded up and gotten. Never mind Breece Hall. It was Kenneth Walker that I wanted. Instead, he goes to Seattle. Instead, he gets drafted by Seattle and is literally sitting behind Rashad Penny, which makes sense because he's balling. But he's also sitting behind Travis Homer, DJ Dallas, for the first few weeks of the season. But I think they finally figured it out. This man is good. And in this game on Sunday, he had a breakout game. Moving forward, he should be the lead running back up in the Northwest. Seattle's ugly win against the Cardinals on Sunday moves them to 3-3, further continuing their roller coaster season. Number 19, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I cannot believe I have Tom Brady this low in my rankings. But you know what? Going 1 for 4 in the red zone against a very banged up, awful Steelers defense? Bruh, you deserve to be down here. The Bucs offense struggled all game long. They looked out of sorts. But their biggest problem, their biggest Achilles heel, was their short yardage play, including a failed 2-point conversion that would have tied a game that they had no business being involved in. I mean, you have Leonard Fournette. My dude is a big man. Like, put the ball in his chest and let him just ball over people, right? I don't know, man. Bucs dropped to 3-3. And, yeah, they don't look like the team that a lot of people had picking them for the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't know. Number 18, Miami Dolphins. 3 weeks in a row, the Dolphins lose 3 starting quarterbacks. What that means is that for 3 straight games, their game plan coming into a game goes out the fucking window. That's difficult for anybody to deal with, let alone a rookie head coach. I kind of feel bad for... I can't even speak a lie. The Dolphins lose a very winnable game against a very weird Vikings team. Mainly because, and it's not because the quarterback's getting hurt, mainly because of mistakes and really bad hands by Jalen Waddle. So after winning the first 3 games of the year, the Dolphins have now lost 3 in a row, find themselves at 3-3. That's behind the Jets. But there is some good news for Dolphins Nation, Dolphins. What do you guys call yourself? You like a school of Dolphins? I don't. I'm just kidding. I really don't care. But you did get some good news. This upcoming week, the Dolphins are getting back the Lord and Savior, the gunslinging badass, take no shit from no one. Tom Brady ain't got nothing on him. The left-handed phenom. Mister, he would have thrown for 9,000 yards had he not gotten hurt. Tua, tug a rub one out or something like that. God, it's going to be really good for the NFL to see the greatest player to ever lace them up back on the field. I got the chills. Number 17, Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans were on a bye week this past week. They remain 3-2. I had them at 17 last week. They don't move at all. It was still a forward pass back in 2000. They should have gotten the forfeit in 2020 when half their team was out mingling at clubs while having COVID, and the game had to be pushed back to a Tuesday to accommodate them because they're a bunch of dickheads. Fuck the Titans. Number 16, Green Bay Packers. All right, I'm just going to say it, man. The Packers suck. They looked like shit. They played like shit. They smell like shit. They taste like shit. Listen, with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, there's always a possibility that they go on like a 15-game run, right? There's always that possibility. But damn, this game on Sunday against the Jets was really bad, really hard to watch. On a side note, though, I'm willing to bet at one point during this game, Aaron Rodgers had to have been thinking to himself, man, if I had Allstate instead of State Farm, I'd be better protected from mayhem like Quinnen Williams. Number 15, Los Angeles Rams. Does anyone even still care about the Los Angeles Rams? Anyone at all? Should I just skip them? Or I seriously cannot remember a time when a reigning Super Bowl champion was so irrelevant 6 weeks into the season. The only thing consistent about this team is Matthew Stafford throwing pick 6 every game like he did this past Sunday. Okay, Rams fans, you gotta win over the worst team in football this week. Fantastic. Number 14, San Francisco 49ers. Oh my God. Yesterday for lunch, I had me some peanut butter and jelly. Today for lunch, I'm eating some cup of noodles. Do you know why? Because I lost my ass betting on the Niners this week. I get it. Yes, injuries, I know. By the end of the game against the Falcons on Sunday, the Niners only had 4 of their 11 starters playing in the game on defense. And to make matters worse, one of those 4 players that remained was placed on concussion protocol just yesterday. Now, obviously, the defense is the strength of this team, and if they don't go, then this team doesn't go. I get that. But Jimmy G needs to do something here because you got weapons on offense. Good weapons. Something needs to give with this team because just last week I was talking about how they had the NFC wrapped up in week 5. It is now week 6, and I'm wondering where the fuck this team went. Number 13, Indianapolis Colts. On Sunday, the Colts play the Jaguars. And the Jaguars are the Colts like big as like bugaboo. And in the beginning of this game, it didn't look like much changed. The Colts were down 11 points quick. But something happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened. Because the Colts like locked in and said, we ain't fucking around no more. No Jonathan Taylor. No Naheem Hines. Matt Ryan said, you know what? Let's go. This dude decided to air the ball out. And it was effective. Matt Ryan had 37 pass attempts at halftime. He ended the game with 58 pass attempts. You know what else happened in this game? Matt Ryan passed Dan Marino for 7th all-time passing yard. My favorite part of this game was the end. The Colts had the game in control. All they needed to do was run the clock out. They were already in field goal range, kick the game-winning field goal, and have it be done. But Matt Ryan was not having that. And he threw up a pass into the end zone that rookie Alec Pierce found for a touchdown. Game over. This was a nice win for the Colts, got them back over 500, and put them right back in the mix for the AFC South. Number 12, Baltimore Ravens. These Ravens are so confusing. How do you look so good one week and then do this again? How many late leads are you going to blow? This isn't good. It's not a good look. This is yet another collapse late in the game, allowing a team to come back and win. This time it was the New Jersey Giants that did that and saw Lamar Jackson just absolutely crumble late in the game. He lost a fumble, threw an interception. I don't know, man. I badly want to praise this team, but they're making it real difficult. Number 11, New England Patriots. Did anybody watch this game? I don't know if many people did, but I can guarantee you the Browns defense, they watched the Patriots receivers just get wide open all game long. Like, it was insane. Like, you're sitting there like, if you didn't watch this game, you're like, all right, they were wide open. No, they were wide open. I'm talking about like 10, 15, 20 yards of separation. Like, it was like mind-numbing to watch. Like, go watch the highlights. Go. I'll wait. Go. Seriously, man, Bailey Zappi, this is going to suck. Zappi had his first 300-yard passing game in his career in just his second start. I don't know what's going to happen when Mac and Cheese is ready to play. But the big story to me is the Patriots defense. Statistically, they look mediocre, like middle of the field. But when you watch them, the eye test, they look phenomenal. They shut out the number 1 offense in the Lions last week. Now this week, they shut down that run game of the Browns. Patriots moved to 3-3 and are very quietly playing really good football. And that sucks. Number 10, Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons have become, you know what? I don't even care. The Falcons are my guilty pleasure. Since last year, I have been defending this team. They are overplaying their expectations. All season long, they've been showing that they can play with anybody that they've played against. And this past Sunday, they shut out the Niners in the second half, and their defense is not supposed to be good and haven't been good. Marcus Mariota was like 13 of 14. I'm not saying he's anything special, but he looked good this past Sunday. The Falcons are 3-3, and they are tied with the Bucs for first place in the NFC South. Now, I want you to think about something here. That roughing the passer call on the Falcons against the Bucs, I think that everybody can agree that had that not happened, the Falcons win that game. Now let's think about this. The Falcons would have won that game and would be 4-2 right now. The Bucs would be 2-4. The Saints are 2-4. The Panthers are 0-ass. The Falcons should have a 2-game lead in the NFC South. If that's not blowing your mind. Number 9, Cincinnati Bengals. All right, stage is set. Superdome in New Orleans. The site of the championship game when Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase won the national championship. Joe Burrow showed up to the game wearing a game-worn Jamar Chase jersey from that game. Not gonna lie, that's fucking badass. Then the game started inside the dome, and they just balled out. This was the first time Jamar Chase actually had a breakout game all season. All those fantasy owners out there are pissed because he's been average all year. The Bengals go into New Orleans, get a nice win, but I still don't trust this team. It actually pains me that I have them in my top 10. Number 8, Los Angeles Chargers. Speaking of paining me for having a team in the top 10, 19-16 overtime win on Monday Night Football against the Broncos. I don't know, man. The defense did their job. I'll give them that. But what happened to this Chargers offense? I mean, all offseason long, all we heard about was forget about Josh Allen, forget about Patrick Mahomes. It's the era of Justin Herbert. The man is taking over the NFL. It didn't even look like he played last night. Like, his forte is throwing deep passes. But last night, all you saw was like check down. I feel like Eckler had like 45 catches last night. Yeah, I get it. Keenan Allen, he's out. But Mike Williams ain't no slouch. Jordan Palmer has stepped up. Like, he's got the weapons. I get it. The Broncos defense is all right. They're pretty good. But the Chargers, the expectations for this team was so high. They got to be better. Number 7, New Jersey Jets. Ugh. Just ugh, with like a side of ugh. Like, seriously, they couldn't wait just a few more years to like get back on this level. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but ponder this for a moment. Had the Bills lost to the Chiefs on Sunday afternoon, which isn't inconceivable, right? By any means, the Chiefs are a great team. That game could have gone either way, especially with it being in Arrowhead. Had the Bills lost, the New Jersey Jets would be in first place of the AFC East. Oh my God. The Jets defense is playing lights out. I will 100% give them credit there. Because in every sport, every competition that I watch, I am obsessed with defense. So defensively, the Jets are just legit. And on Sunday, they got an Aaron Rodgers ass. That defensive line was just, my man's going to have night terrors for weeks. And you know what a good defensive line does? Sets up the secondary to have big games. And Gravy Gardner's having a great year. Yeah, I'm Italian, so any sauce that has meat in it is a gravy. So I'm going to call him gravy. Number 6, Dallas Cowboys. Here it is. Sunday Night Football at Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. This is what the Cowboys and their fans have been waiting for. It is put up or shut up time. Actually, that's not possible because Cowboy fans don't know how to shut up. Just jokes, Cowboys fans. Calm down. Now, there were plenty of conversations leading up to this game. If Dak was healthy, who should get the start? And by halftime, it was pretty evident that Dak should have got the start had he been healthy. I believe all cases for Cooper Rush went straight out the window. That being said, when Dak went down in week 1 with an injury, I think everyone thought that their season was over. Sitting at 4-2 after week 6, I'm pretty sure all Cowboy fans would have signed up for that, even if Dak didn't get hurt. So all credit and praise needs to be given to Cooper Rush. This game, this loss to the Eagles, should not be a cause for concern for Cowboy fans. This defense in Dallas is legit, and getting their starting quarterback is gonna help. Deep breaths, Cowboys fans. Deep. Woosah, touch the ear, do what you gotta do. Number 5, Minnesota Vikings. Does anyone think that this team is good? I literally had to check a second website, like a second opinion, to make sure that this team is actually 5-1. I'm not sure if the Vikings even think that they're good. I'm not saying they think they're bad, but I think they're scratching their heads saying, are we good? Hey, are we good? Hey, Kirk, Justin, we good? I don't know. Dalvin? Listen, the Vikings played a game in Miami this week, and I know this pain. I mean, not me physically because I didn't play the game, but as a fan, at one point during this game, they measured the temperature to be 95 degrees on the Dolphins sideline in the shade. The temperature on the Vikings sideline was over 120 degrees. It's hot. The fact that the Vikings came out of this game with a win is impressive for that reason alone. But I still want to find out if this team is good or not. Number 4, New Jersey Giants. I've got to be honest with you. I thought it was a little crazy that Brian Daboll chose to leave Buffalo to go get a head coaching job. Now, why do I say that? After the 2020 season, when the Bills made the AFC Championship game, both he and defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier had opportunities at head coaching jobs. Both of them came back for the 2021 season because they felt they had something special in Buffalo and they didn't want to walk away from it. But this season, Daboll took that opportunity. And I'll be honest, I thought it was crazy. But now I'm seeing it was a good choice because he has the Giants moving. Giants are 5-1. Giants are playing with a quarterback that not many people trust, a banged-up wide receiver core, a banged-up offensive line. But they are looking tough. Number 3, Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so the Eagles beat the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, moving their record to 6-0, and they remain perfect. But this team is far from perfect, and we all know that. They have actually yet to play a full game, 4 quarters of good football. Now, credit is due. The Eagles put up 20 points in the first half on Sunday night against the Cowboys. That's against the Cowboys defense, who hasn't given up 20 points to a single team all year. But in the second half, that Eagles offense, poof, gone. After the Cowboys made the game interesting and were only down by 3, that's when the Eagles took over in the beginning of the fourth quarter, went on a 7.5-minute drive to score a touchdown and put the game out of reach. It was cool. It was impressive. It was a nice win. But the Eagles need to start playing 4 full quarters if they want to remain perfect. Number 2, Kansas City Chiefs. As a Bills fan, I hate playing the Chiefs. Furthermore, I hate playing the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I hate Patrick Mahomes. I hate Travis Kelce. Now, I say this stuff with an insane amount of respect in my heart. I hate these players because I don't want to play against them. There is no other team in the NFL that scares me like the Chiefs. The Chiefs are freaking good, man. They are scary good. They lost on Sunday, and I still have them at number 2. This game was a battle of the 2 best teams in football by a very large margin. And honestly, it's a shame that there had to be a loser. This game literally could have gone either way. Mahomes got a chance with 1:04 left to march down the field and do it to the Bills again. Unfortunately for him and the Chief fans, he threw an interception, game ended, and now he's got to go home to Brittany and make up reasons why he threw that interception. Fun fact about this game, this was the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career that he was an underdog at home. The Bills were favored by 2.5. It was a hell of a game by a hell of a team, getting beat by a hell of a team, and you know damn well they're going to see each other in January. Number 1, Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is a fucking machine. Like, I don't know how to find words to describe him as a player. How do you describe him as a player? How do you describe him as a teammate? How do you describe what he means to the city of Buffalo? How do you describe what he means to Bills Mafia? The Bills head up to Arrowhead for the first time since the 13-second debacle, and the game did not start off well. It was a weird start. Josh Allen with a little toss to McKenzie, fumbled away in the red zone. Oh man, it was terrible. I was like, here we go. But then things kind of changed. Josh Allen started to ball. At one point, he had completed 13 straight passes, hurdled yet another defender, and on the game-winning touchdown late in the fourth quarter that he threw to tight end Dawson Knox, dude was just sitting in the pocket, just looking around, commanding the offense, pointing, telling people where to go. Fired that hoe in there and found Knox for a touchdown. God, it was glorious. Impressive is an understatement. This game had me fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. The range of emotions that this game had me going through. Happy, scared, nervous, excited. Sports aren't supposed to be doing this to people like this. And after the Bills scored that touchdown to take a 24-20 lead, these dumbasses, they left Patrick Mahomes with 64 seconds and said, here you go, do it, I dare you. I can't even put into words how nervous I was. We're talking about a week 6 regular season game, and I was in my feelings like it was the Super Bowl. In the end, thankfully, Patrick Mahomes is picked off by Taron Johnson. Yes, the same Taron Johnson that picked off Lamar Jackson in the division game, ran it back 101 yards for the game-winning touchdown. When I tell you, the sheer volume in my living room between me and my oldest son, woo, it was louder than that, I can promise you. The best part about this was my son had his girlfriend over, and it was the first time she had ever seen us behaving this way. Now, she was over for the Monday night game against the Titans, but that game was a joke, and we weren't nearly as excited as this. I really hope she wasn't scared off. I kind of like her. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm 100% sure you disagree with so much shit that I said, But that's the beauty of sports. That's the beauty of these videos. I talk, you listen, you can't say shit. And please, if you have anything to contribute, 100% make yourself a video. Tell me how your team played. Tell me what you think about your team and how they're doing this year. How you think they're going to end up. Send it to me. I will chop it up, edit it into my videos. I had a shit ton of fun with that last week, and I'd love to do more. So if you got something to say about how I feel about your team, here's your chance, baby. See you next week.